Okay. So recording in progress.
Yes.
Share screen. So we are gathered this morning to look at the Good Shepherd International Justice Peace Office, the GSIJP office engagement, and that's all of us here at the Commission on the Status of Women. And the year is 2023, and it's CSW, the Commission on the Status of Women, 67, which is 67th session. And the priority theme for the Commission is innovation and technological change and education in the digital age for achieving gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. So I have colored in different colors the key words: innovation, technological change, education, and the digital age. How do these impact us as women and girls? That's the question that we are being asked to look at throughout the whole world, from the United Nations in this year of 2023. And so the Good Shepherd Justice Peace Office facilitates 3 moments of engagement for girls at the United Nations. The first engagement is in March, and so we're approaching March. It's annual, it happens every year. It happens at the Commission on the Status of Women, which we say abbreviate to CSW. And we start the preparation immediately after the Day of the Girl celebration in October. The second moment is in July. Again, it happens every year at the high-level political forum. The letters we use, the acronym is HLPF. And the HLPF, the high-level political forum, reviews the implementation of the 17 development goals, the SDGs, at the UN, United Nations, and the preparation begins in April, immediately after the CSW. And who engages depends on what countries are presenting. So at the high-level political forum, national entities, countries present their reports. And so we try to do something about girls speaking to what's happening in their country. And then in October, we have the annual International Day of the Girl. We speak about it as IDG, and the preparation begins in June. So these are our 3 moments at the United Nations as girls from around the world. And some of you already have experiences taking part in these events. As I mentioned, Vivian was speaking by video to the Girls Speak Out in the United Nations last October. And she did a splendid job. So I just put this graphic here. You can look at it maybe later. Policy matters. Missing and murdered Indigenous girls matter. Decision makers must take all measures to eliminate discrimination against girls. We young people are the leaders of today, and we know what we want our future to be. Now, this graphic was put together at the International Day of the Girl when it was happening, and it was, you know, Girls' Rights Now. That's our campaign. Girls' Rights Now. Our rights now. And so when I come to the Commission on the Status of Women, the CSW, and in New York, and I am part of it, there is what we call a CSW Girl Engagement Group. And it's made up of a few NGOs. You can see the Congregation of Our Lady of Charity of the Good Shepherd. We're there, Kimberly and myself, the Girl Scouts of the USA, Girls Learn International, Global GLOW. Many of you have been receiving communications from Lindsay, and Lindsay is from Global GLOW. The Grail, they work out of Mozambique. And so the representative from Mozambique is at all of our meetings, and sometimes there's 2 and 3 meetings in a week by Zoom. And then there's the Institute of the Blessed Virgin Mary, known as the Loretto Sisters. And so we as a group, we're part of the working group on girls, but we are the Girls Engagement Group at the CSW. So that's who we are. That's who you're receiving the information from. And as I say, Good Shepherd Sisters are part of that group and are heavily invested. And so the girls' processes at CSW, there's a series of events. And so the first one is the Girls' Conversation Circles Local. So this is where girls are invited to meet with other groups of girls and talk about the theme of CSW. And this is for anyone, anywhere, but it does demand girl leaders to come forward to facilitate the processes. And that was completed last December. The second moment of engagement is the girls' statement writing. And that was completed in December. We did have Good Shepherd participants in this. There is usually 2 stages. There's the preparation of girls to lead the statement writing, and then there's the broader invitation for other girls to come to share, so that we can hear different girls speaking from different places, and then the girls who are facilitating compile that and put it together. And they have done this year a very succinct page, a 1-pager. I find it very useful. And so that process is finished. This morning, as I speak, the Girls' Caucus is taking place. A caucus is a group that come together to consult and talk and come up with some ideas around policy. I think it's an American word. And so there's the selection of girls who will take leadership roles. And as I speak, we have 3 girls from the Philippines involved in that this morning, engaged in leadership role for the caucus. This is the 2nd Saturday morning of their preparation and their capacity building to be able to take the work forward. And the caucus then leads into the girls' advocacy. And the girls' advocacy is a meeting with member states where there's the opportunity to meet various ambassadors and important people to do with CSW in New York, to meet them virtually and to have a conversation with them to bring forward the girls' perspective. And there's another moment of that advocacy in what we call the Vienna Cafe. It used to be a location in the United Nations where we would meet in person with the member states. But we now have it online. And so it's a virtual event where we try to meet together and see what everybody is thinking. And this happens during CSW. So just again, the caucus has three parts: the orientation. And then next week, we have the public caucus, where girls from anywhere can come without particular preparation to talk about what they think CSW is about and what does it mean to have technology, to have access to internet, to be able to do studies using tablets and online curriculum, etc., etc. So these are just some pictures. You may have seen them calling for all girls, calling all girls. And this was to, we invite all girl delegates to CSW to give input to the CSW Girls Statement. And all girls came on Saturday, December 17. There was the preparation of the leaders for that, and there was the putting together of the page after that. So leaders have more work to do than somebody just coming to give their views. So there's different levels of commitment. The Girls' Caucus, I mentioned to you, is on at the moment. The leadership, the training is on. The public caucuses will be next Saturday, February 11, and a second one on February 25. And what we're looking at here specifically is what we call the outcome document of the CSW, the document that will be negotiated and is supposed to be implemented at national level. So this is girls' voices in that document. This graphic here, the Girls Advocacy Forum, has not gone out yet, but it was approved yesterday. And so there is an advocacy forum on Tuesday, February 21st at 8:15 a.m. Now, sometimes the people that apply for this advocacy forum are people who have done the caucus and the caucus training, because they are specially knowledgeable about what to say to ambassadors. And down here at the bottom, you can see the logos of the different groups that have been putting that together. And of course, the GSIJP office is here. And here's the Girls' Glow. Lindsay is usually the one that sends out the communications. Adjoa from Girl Scouts keeps us all on track. And much of this work that has been done, we have to honor Alexis, who was in the office last year, and this has been pioneered over 2 years. And because of Alexis's work, we are at this stage this year of being able to say, this is what we're doing. And I will send this PowerPoint, and the links to register for the public caucus are here. So anybody and everybody can come to the public caucus. And if you're interested in the Girls Advocacy Forum, because you already know about CSW, because you are going to take part in the Good Shepherd panel, you know, I would encourage you to apply. You might not be accepted, but apply. Please register here. So let's see when it's sent out. It probably will come out on Monday. So I've mentioned to you about the Girls Advocacy Forum, and you have seen the flyer. It's facilitated by Canada. They're the government that help us. And yesterday, I did a listing of all the missions in New York that have women ambassadors. And there was about 40. So it will go to them also, because we feel that many of them know what it's like to be a girl. And so they hear differently, and they are reminded of what it was like in their days when they were girls. And I think that's very important in terms of influencing the document. Of course, men ambassadors will be there too. They also are our allies. And before COVID, this was a lunch meeting. So we put on a lunch for the ambassadors and invited them, and we had girls come from different areas to speak. The thing about the virtual is it allows girls from Asia, from Latin America to engage. Before, it might be more American-based, and for the Grail, they always had girls from Africa. They always have girls from Mozambique here in New York, and they bring them year after year for CSW. So number 5 is a town hall, a gathering of youth that is usually 18 years plus. And we like to have girls there also, because youth sometimes don't recognize, or they are on a career path and they forget about the issues of girls. During the CSW, during the 2 weeks, on March 8 and March 15, there are 2 conversation circles on different topics. There are 10 topics over the 2 days. Now, there will be an opportunity, if you want to look at the topics and look at the times, to say, I'd like to be part of that, or I'd like to be part of that. I am organizing this from the girls' perspective, and I expect the flyer to go out maybe next week. So this is an opportunity. And, you know, we are also saying, if any girl feels that she could be a co-facilitator with an adult, with another woman, a girl and a woman, if you feel you have the skills, whatever, we will be inviting girls to say, look, I could do that. Again, the girls that are best able to do it are girls who are in the caucus. But it doesn't exclude that others might have the experience. I think of you, Crystal, and your experiences and what you've done. Susan, also from India. And then the Vienna Cafe, which happens during CSW also. So these are the moments in the girl facilitated processes. It's complicated, and one girl can't do everything. And therefore, it's marvelous for us as an international group to say, okay, look, the girls in the Philippines are looking after the caucus, and the girls in Latin America are looking after the Day of the Girl, and the girls in different countries want to come forward and present during CSW on the panel. This is the graphic. It was only posted yesterday on the UN Women's website for CSW. And so you have the dates here, the 6th to the 17th of March, CSW67. Here's the key words: innovation and technological change, and education in the digital age. And all of this is towards gender equality. I like the graphic myself. I just have a few more things to say. And here I am comparing CSW, the commission, the formal event. And over on the right-hand side, you have the NGO CSW, the non-governmental organizations CSW commission. So we talk about parallel. It's a parallel event to the formal event. And so the formal event, the CSW, is for member states. They have a formal program. They have an opening on the 6th of March and they close on the 17th of March. And they have a series of panels on the various themes over the 2 weeks. And the member states have side events happening over the 2 weeks. I've already told you about the outcome document, and it's negotiated. So there will have to be give and take. It's always very controversial. And sometimes on the last day of CSW, I have seen myself at the midnight hour in the United Nations waiting for this outcome document, because the very presence of NGOs at midnight forces them to make a decision, to agree, to come to consensus. But I have seen CSW end without a document where they would not come to a consensus. And all of this is webcast on UN TV. So if you're interested, you can look at it afterwards, and it's archived and it's available. So the NGO CSW process is parallel. It's civil society, it's women, it's girls, and they have parallel events. The governments have side events. Ours is parallel event. We have the opening on March 5, the day before the official opening, so that we can be present at the official opening. And you have 2 weeks of parallel events. You have conversation circles and you have regional caucuses. So all this is happening. We have a parallel event. That's why I put in this little graphic here. We have a parallel event. And we are, as a group, our girls are represented in the advocacy moments, tracking the outcome document. I was on a call last night, I think it was, or yesterday morning, with the 3 girls in the Philippines, going over the document with them so that they were in a strong position to be informed for this morning's work. And so this year, this NGO CSW event, parallel event, is hybrid, meaning some of it is virtual and some of it is in person. And of course, it's the virtual part that all of us are interested in. And this year it's hosted on HOVA virtual platform. Last year and the year before, we were working on Patable. Teresa Simmons will remember that. But now we are on HOVA. It is a more simple, straightforward, user-friendly platform. And so this is the graphic for the Good Shepherd International Justice Peace Office. Originally, we had Commission on the Status of Women on it. We have changed that, and we have the Good Shepherd International Justice Peace Office. And our hashtag is Tech for gender justice. And Kimberly is not here this morning. Unfortunately, she had other engagements and she designed this graphic and I like it. And so coming to what we are about this morning, this is the parallel event. And so you girls will be taking part in this parallel event on March 10, 2023 at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you'll have to check, it'll be nighttime in the Philippines, and it'll be the same time, more or less, in Latin America, and it'll be somewhere in the middle of the day in Africa. And so the title for our event is Girls and Women Impacting the Digital Revolution. And all of this is in the making at the moment. And so you, together with your mentors and facilitators, etc., are invited to begin to think about how will we run this. And so we're making a suggestion that there be 2 girls co-moderating. Ideally, 1 in English and 1 in Spanish. Vivian, I'm more or less looking to you in terms of the Spanish moderation. We have 3 sections, and these are just broad strokes. We have, coming from Asia Pacific, good, safe cyber practice and application. And we are hoping to invite an adult to be part of that panel with the girls because of the safe cyber practice that you have already set up and begun in Asia Pacific. So we're hoping that there will be an adult with the girls. We're inviting representatives from Africa to share experiences of access and no access to internet and devices. There's a range of experiences in Africa, but mostly without devices, without internet. And so Atubili from South Africa could not be here today if Good Shepherd and Jess, who is her mentor, didn't actually arrange for her to travel a long distance to get to the convent where the access is. She couldn't be here. Equally, Ernestine has mobilized and brings girls to the community to be able to engage. Bridget in Senegal is in the same situation. So they have a very different experience of all this. But the one thing I know is they want to be included. And Helen, who is on the call, has recorded girls in Uganda with her cell phone, because that's all that she has. She doesn't have a location that she can get them to travel to. She is the one who travels out into the countryside. And so in Latin America, the secure digital networks for the exercise of girls' rights. There's a project going on in Latin America, and we hope that girls can speak to that. So this is the big view of our parallel event. And so your work is to say, oh, I'm going to say this. Oh, I have to say that. I want to do this. I want to do that. That's for you and your mentors to work out. And for that day, I will have interpretation in French, Spanish, and Portuguese, already booked and confirmed. We are having Portuguese because in the beginning, from Angola, some of the sisters were there. They're not in a position to bring girls, but they would like girls to hear and to observe this event. So that's why we're providing the Portuguese interpretation, so as to invite them in so that they see what's happening. This is the flyer for our event. Again, Kimberly has been working on this. We have in here some names, etc. at the moment. We have a date. You can join, click here for the link, and it's already active. We said here about the interpretation. This is our panel, and it's being hosted by the Congregation of Our Lady of Charity of the Good Shepherd. So, and here is our hashtag, Girls for Gender Justice. Now, if you want to get this into Spanish or into French or any other language, all you need do is send us the text, and Kimberly will set it up so that we have the same flyer moving among us all. And the last thing I want to say is, at our last meeting, we set up what we call Google Docs. We set up a document for all of us to work from. As I say, it's a working document. You add information, your text, your insight for the event, anything that comes to you, you put it out there so that we all see it. And it doesn't matter if you're putting it in French or in Spanish, we all have Google Translate. So you can kind of translate from one to the other. And as we work through the month of February, we will try to form the flow of events. Now, the girls in Asia Pacific have great experience of this, doing the flow of events and, you know, setting up the time slots, who's speaking, who's saying what, who goes next, what's next, etc., etc. And Kimberly will oversee this document. And so just to let you see, this is the Google Doc. It opens easily. We have already put in some of the information in the 3 languages. So the event title, the interpretation, the date, and we have in here names of panelists that we have already received and are considering. And so it's very important that we have an email address and a WhatsApp number, if at all possible, for everybody, so that everybody can be part of this document and that we have easy access through WhatsApp in terms of sending out information, a note, etc. We already have a tentative timeline, but it's open for you know, review. It's open for reworking, etc. It's in the 3 languages, and already I got a text that was submitted from Senegal, from Rose, who is unable to be here today. So there's points that she has there. No doubt it's not the final version, but it's always a marvelous moment to get the first words down and for everybody to see what's coming. Then we're able to work on it together and make a great event. So that is there. Your mentors have access to all of this. It's easily accessible, as I say, and easy to work on. And please don't be afraid to write in the document. There's no right, there's no wrong. Now I did that and I need to get out of it. Just let me stop share for a second so that I can go back to the PowerPoint. Okay. I am almost finished. You'll be happy to know. Share screen. Um, I have encouraged you with regard to the WhatsApp, um, form the group, the mentors and girls all can see the information. Email and WhatsApp number is necessary. And with all of that, the most important part is that you communicate, that you communicate. And so I imagine it looks something like this. And this is Kimberly here at our computer, checking up that everybody is on track, what they're saying, looking, etc., together with the mentors, together with everybody. And so I encourage everybody on this call to register for the NGO CSW HOVA platform. It's one registration. It's simple, and I think it's a safe platform. Certainly all the protection elements are there. And it's only for CSW participants. So it's based on the honor of everybody from CSW that's engaging to look at the safeguarding rules, etc. And you do have to sign off on it before you can register. So I think it's a safe platform for everybody. And I encourage you to register. The link is here. I will send the PowerPoint after this event. And then last but not least, this is a work in progress and it's a draft. But Kimberly has been working on 2 videos that Helen sent. Now, the audio is not great, so we're going to do subtitles in English. And then, of course, the interpreters can pick up. But what we sense is the girls in Africa sharing, and so they're short. So I'll just show you something of it so that you have an idea of what is coming. As I say, it's a draft and it's in the works.
My name is Mandela Day Special. I have prepared because I got primary school. As well, I feel with my father and then I am here to when we were locked down for 2 years, I used to hear about technology, but I didn't know what was the meaning of that. And I used to hear people learning online. What does online learning mean? And she could not interpret it because she was not much educated. So I used to see my friends holding smartphones. I like data. What does data look like? I thought that data was the first on it. So when I was at our school, our teachers used to teach us about the projectors, computer, tablets. I always asked my teacher what was a projector. He used to tell me that projector is something which you can watch on. And I thought that what a projector was. So like some international schools, they learn on smartboards, but we don't have. That. But also those other cultures, I feel that they they also get access to the computer. Really hard for some of us in that online studies were going on, whether some of us were activate the televisions, smartphones, for making research and also online studies. So it really became hard for some of us. We ended up just hanging like that without getting the knowledge about computer use. Also, lack of knowledge about lack of knowledge by some of our parents about the computer use. Some of our parents are not even educated. Well, when they even told us, the parents to be helping us with sound.
I'm not sure if you actually heard any audio because I don't think I turned on so that you can hear the audio, but you get some idea of what it might look like in the video. We tried to not just have the video on its own, but the first girl, she does a very good job on like her whole struggle with going home and asking, what does online mean? And her mother not knowing what online means. And there's another lovely line in it, which I like, and data, like what does data look like? And so like she has learned some things, but she's thinking back on like her experience and her struggle with even the language, and how removed all of this is from the daily life experience of people who are marginalized and outside of having access. And then the other girl equally is looking at lack of access, but a little bit more adult about it, if you like. So I am stopping talking at this stage, and if there are any questions, clarifications, I'm happy to take them. I suggest that we, from this morning, that we set a date for our next meeting together, where we would be looking concretely at the panel and hearing different versions and different experiences and what will be shared. So with that, if you want to ask a question, please either use the raised hand sign in reactions, or just put up your hand. We'll see you, I think, on the screen. Jasmine, have you any question? Was everything clear for you?
Yeah, it was clear. I have a doubt about the panel event. There was the Google Docs shared, right? On the timeline, I didn't see my name in the panelists, so I don't know whether I'm part of the organization team or the panelists.
I'm not able to answer that, but I think you're a panelist.
Okay.
Okay. I think you are, but we'll have to leave the see what Sashi says. But I think you're a panelist.
Okay. Thank you.
Nancy, have you any questions? I see Atabili has her hand up.
Yeah, yes, sister. I just wanted to say that Atabile's been here since we started today, but we struggled with the video. And she is here. She brought a poem. She brought the script that she was writing. But she said after listening now and so on, she will do some changes also there. I would ask her just to greet sister so that sister can hear her voice. There you go, Atabile.
Are you going to speak to us, Atabile?
Good morning, sister, and good morning to you all.
Have you any question?
No, sister.
Okay, okay. Vivian, have you any question?
No, ninguna.
No, for the moment.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else with a question? Clarification?
I think I really like your presentation. And
Malala. Okay. Helen, please go ahead.
yeah, I was saying that I like your presentation and the clarity and the directions that you have given us. Thank you very much. But concerning the
Excuse-moi parce que moi, la caméra pour moi c'est pas, je n'arrive pas à ouvrir.
I cannot open my camera. Thank you very much for your explanation. I have two girls who are participating in this meeting, and it is very clear. Winifred, you've been very clear, and this will help them to be better involved, to better understand our engagement. Personally, I would like to thank you for the clarity. It will help me to be able to accompany the girls. And from my experience and my conversations with them, they're very interested. And it really opens their eyes to see the reality here. Because when we talk about education and the digital world for countries that are in countries such as ours, we are very far from having achieved all these objectives. All the countries in the world at the moment have a great challenge in terms of education in the digital world. And the girl said, well, how can we achieve it? Because there are many people who don't have access, who don't have electricity. So how can you have access to internet? And they said that we think that it is the responsibility of the government, the state, to take this into consideration with respect to education, so that at least in the building at schools and at all levels, if the family doesn't have the possibility of having electricity, at least that in these schools, then they can have access to internet and to all the tools. such as computers. In poor countries where the poverty rate is very high, priority is not the digital world. It is simply of how to survive, how to find food. And you know, when there is such poverty, then there are many factors that come into play. So I do encourage girls to look at reality and see what the digital divide actually means. What does globalization mean? What does education for all mean? So there's a great injustice in the world, if I might say. We talk about it, but in the reality, in the countries are very different. Girls that I know, especially the two girls who are now participating, they are very far from this. Thank you. Thank you for this effort. It is an opportunity. It is an opportunity to raise awareness for girls so that they do have this, that they are empowered, and that it would at least be achieved one day. It is a dream, but we hope that it will come true, thanks to our joint efforts.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can I clarify who was speaking? Who?
Moi, je suis Ernestine de Madagascar.
Ernestine from Madagascar.
Okay.
Ernestine from Madagascar.
Okay, thank you very much, Ernestine. Thank you. When I saw Malala's name up and I could look at Malala and see her lips were not moving, I said, who's speaking? Okay, thank you. I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce this name right. Juvencio, nice to see you from Ecuador. Juvencio.
Muy buenos días, Winfred, y todos, todas, perdón. Sí,
Well, good
la verdad,
morning.
disculpa porque por temporal me pude conectar un poco tarde. Al tiempo que tuve en las,
Well, first of
escuchándole
all,
las indicaciones,
because I have something,
me parecen muy
so
claras
I
y estaremos muy pendientes de toda esa
and I just have
información
to mention the
que nos van a hacer llegar a nuestros
we are going to
colegas
be
como mentores, en este
information
caso en Ecuador,
we are going to to the
Vivian
different
y de Paulina. En todo caso,
so Vivian Paulina,
gracias
the girl from Ecuador,
permitirnos
I
estar primero aquí
want to mention the
escuchándoles a las niñas. Me parece que
thank
será un buen foro para
you
ese
for the
día.
opportunity. I'm really sure that it's going to be an incredible help for our girls. Thank you.
Thank you, Juvencio. Nice to have you. You did a great job with regard to the International Day of the Girl accompanying Vivian. So thank you. Home, I see on the screen a hand up for somebody who has the name Home. Can you tell us your name and unmute yourself?
Je m'appelle Mala et j'aimerais ajouter
My
juste.
name is Mala. I would like to add something.
Je n'ai pas de question.
I don't have a question.
Je voulais dire
I wanted to say
comment le numérique
how
pour les élèves
the digital world for students can help to have workspace and how teachers can use it and have virtual classes. So all those things.
Thank you. Teresa Simmons, do you want to add anything? We want to finish in the next 2-3 minutes, please.
No, I don't have anything. I don't have anything to add. Sashi and myself and the girls, we will meet separately to plan for the panel for Asia Pacific. Yeah.
Thank you. And Heidi?
Thanks, Winifred. And we are working in this time for the preparing the girls and our participation in this forum. I think this is a good opportunity, and we are working the preparing with Alfredo, Juvencio, Nancy, and the girls.
Thank you, Heidi. Nancy, can we hear your voice?
Hola, hola. ¿Me escuchan? Buenos días.
Well, good morning.
Buenos días. Bueno, gracias por el espacio, ¿no?
First of all, I'm happy to be here. It's a pleasure for me to work for New Knowledge Young. So in this opportunity, we are happy together with Mila because we choose to be part of this. We're excited that we are going to be helping with everything she needs. Because we are happy to know that she is going to be able to provide connection with other girls from different countries, different experiences. So, of course, together with your help, she's going to be like learning. We recognize that opportunity. We are taking every information you have given to us. Again, thank you. And if we have any question, we are going to let you know.
So thank you, Nancy. To mentors, when will we meet next? Is it possible to meet on Friday? Oh no, not Friday the 10th. Monday the 13th? Or will I just send out an email and let us decide by email? Okay, I see Teresa Simmons nodding her head. Okay, I will follow up with an email requesting the best date to meet. I see Crystal is saying that as well. Okay, okay, great. So I'll bring this session to a conclusion. Thank you very much to girls and mentors for attending. All this is work, it's demanding, but but thank you. And a special thank you to our two interpreters, Anne-Marie and Lucia. Without them, it's not possible to engage. And I think the next time we'll be much more ready to roll when we start. So it was a first for me in terms of managing, you know, interpretation and assigning people and all the rest of it. Yesterday I had an induction lesson. So today I think I functioned well, I hope. So to everybody, thank you very much for sharing, for your time, your patience, and I look forward to continuing this collaboration up until March 10, when we see and implement what we are talking about. So thank you very much to everybody. Lovely to see you. And I think Teresa Simmons said something there that's important. She said, look, you know, we in Asia Pacific, we're going to get working on this. So I encourage people in Africa to say the same thing. We're getting working on this. And in Latin America, we're getting working on this. And then it's easier to bring the fruit of that work together in the Zoom platform, but it must happen at the local regional level first. So thank you to everybody, to interpreters, to everybody who has given their time. Heidi and Teresa, thank you. So what will I say? Goodbye from New York.
Bye.